another episode ready to go. They're gonna talk about the good and the trash and anything in between. Cherishing make-believe, get ready for Halloween. It's the horror show. I know you missed those guys. Tune in and find out what's on their list tonight. They butcher and dissect, take apart and mutilate. Listen to your two favorite brainiacs communicate. It's the horror show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Horror Show. Show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not-so-favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
Hello, Joe. Hello.
What's up, man?
Hello. Nothing's up. We watched Witchboard, which was the second worst thing that happened this weekend. With just behind Chadwick, what is it, Boseman? Is that how you say it?
Chadwick Boseman, yes, rest in peace.
Fucking R.I.P., man. That's fucking crazy. Having cancer for 4 years and filming like 6 movies.
I mean, honestly incredible. And not, like, nobody in his camp leaking that. Like, nobody had any clue. Total surprise. Insane.
So
and the fact that he was going to like children hospitals that whole time, knowing that he was going through it too. I mean, we lost a good one.
Yeah, man. And a lot of fucking assholes online. I guess he posted a picture like kind of recently, and he was super skinny, and people were like, "Oh, you idiot!"
Yeah, they're calling him the Crack Panther.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
Which I mean, you know. Like, I get that nobody knew he had cancer, but, like, he's also an actor, so why would you just not think it's for a role?
That's what I would... Dude,
why go the insult route?
That is literally what I was thinking. That is exactly what I was fucking thinking. Because I saw the picture, and I was like, oh, I would have 100% thought he was doing some amazing role. I would not have even thought twice about it. And then I saw people commenting about how, remember... when people were taking jabs at him and he had to delete the photos and all the comments. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
It's the fucking internet for you.
Well, Witchboard we did. Then we watched Witchboard. And,
this is my least favorite type of movie to do for this show.
Okay.
Because it's perfectly fine. Like, I did not hate this movie. It's fine. Like, the guy did a nice job. It's not going to be like... I don't think it's going to be much fun to pick apart, because I thought it was a decent, low-budget movie.
I thought I did not like it. But not because I wanted it to be bad. And I wanted to have something to talk about, so I think that was partially the reason. And it did not give me that. It did not give me anything to talk about. But while researching this, I found 2 reviews. Let me see if I can pull them up here. Okay, so I found 2 reviews that I think sum up exactly how I felt. One is Eleanor Ringel of the Great Falls Tribune noted that the film began as a fairly efficient horror movie. Totally agree with that. At the beginning, I'm pretty much in. But after a careful, unnecessarily complicated build-up, the film falls apart. And that 100% was my reaction to it. It started out, I was like, oh, I'm in. Especially after Witch Trap, you know? And
sure.
And then it just got increasingly more complicated with not that many kills. And then it ends. And you're just like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this? The other review I saw was the Miami News. Deborah Wilker wrote, midway through this nonsense, you give up hoping that Witchboard will emerge as one of those so bad it's good horror flicks. At first, the potential seems to be there, but as it unfolds, Witchboard just becomes plain dopey. And again, like, that's right where I was. I was hoping for so bad it's good. It had the elements there, and then it just kind of, like, to me, it just trails off, and it's just kind of nothing.
That sums it up. I didn't think it was bad, like I said, but it's not like when you think of movies like The Exorcist or something similar in that vein. It's certainly not even close to that fucking tier. So it's just there. I would much rather have been so bad it's good, and the kills were so few and far between.
So few.
It's fucking ridiculous.
So few. And you know, this movie had so many most movies we watch, there's not much information about them. There's not even that much behind the scenes, you know, like stories, which are the best part. This thing, the director must have wrote it all. I don't know. This movie's Wikipedia page is enormous with stories and the stories are written so poorly. That's why I think somebody that was involved in the movie wrote them. It's insane. It's insane. And there's just stories that I feel they put out there to make it seem more campy than it actually is almost. I wrote a bunch of them down, so I'm going to talk about them as we do the movie, but it's just really bizarre. And this director, as we noticed in Witch Trap, has a real flair for he loves a good putting like a theme into a movie, right? Like in Witch Trap, it was very religious, and I still don't know what the message was, but there was a big element of it about atheism and being a religious person, I guess Christian, right? Yeah. And in Witch Trap, that was a central theme. And in this one, I didn't think that there was a central theme until I read the Wikipedia page, which has a 400-word thesis on what the theme of this movie was. And it's insane. I don't even want to read it all, but basically he felt the central theme was the bromance of Jim and Brandon, who we will meet.
I'm very glad, because that was a very Top Gun-esque bromance. Like, the whole time I was like, just make these guys lovers. Like, are you kidding me?
I have that note. Just let them fuck. Just let them do it. Because it's insane to have Tawny Katane in the middle of it, and those two so focused on each other that they're like, oh yeah? Oh yeah?
Dude, those guys share more screen time than anybody. And they talk so incredibly close and so passionately in every fucking scene that they're in. It's like, why were they not just lovers?
I was so confused about who was dating who in the first 5 minutes. I had no idea what was...
Sean, Tawny Katane is sitting on her ex-boyfriend's like lap the first time you meet him. So you're like, oh, this guy is the ex-boyfriend. But then like 5 minutes later, she's in his bedroom being like, calm down. And you're like, what the fuck? What's happening here?
I had no idea what the fuck was happening. It was insane. It was insane. So that's the central theme. Tenny viewed the film about the board, who he sees as a character, forcing Jim to reflect on his relationships with both Linda and Brandon, the latter whom he had a falling out with. Once he knew this was the story, it was easy for him to work around it with the stories he had researched about, which I will get into later, but this movie, he claims, is based on The Exorcist. He saw The Exorcist.
They reference it, because, well, first of all, the character's name's Linda, and then at one point, her boyfriend's like, oh, great, I'm dating Linda Blair.
Which I thought was insane, because I didn't know Tawny Katane's name until after that scene, which is like 45 minutes in. And I was like, that's the weirdest joke to make when the character's name is actually Linda. But he says a word in this, I forget what it's called, but the douchebag Brandon keeps saying it. It's basically a term for when you're opening yourself up for possession. And I guess that directly comes from The Exorcist and has no factual ground to it. So technically this is in the Exorcist universe.
Interesting.
And I don't know what canon means, but let's just say it's canon.
I don't think that's what it means.
All right. The character.
I'm desperately trying to think of that fucking word that he had.
Oh, I have it written.
Progressive entrapment.
Progressive entrapment. That is exactly it, and that comes from The Exorcist. Oh boy, the character of Jim was based on Tenny himself, and the reason he wrote him to be a construction worker was because he, at one point, was a construction worker. He stated in interviews that despite it being a horror film, he sought to create a character-driven film. Shit like that crack.
I mean, there was way more character development than there probably needed to be for all these characters.
Oh my god.
Dude, I think I love this director because A, you are completely correct. He most definitely wrote this Wikipedia article. and B, the whole time that I was watching this, I kept thinking of that trailer, which he clearly edited. It was like from the director of Witchboard. And the whole time I was like, why would, like, because Night of the Demons came after this. And, like, Night of the Demons is pretty beloved, you know? Like, why does he keep honing in on this one? It's like bigging this one up. And I think the answer must just be, because I didn't read as much as you did, but he was pretty young when he made this, right? Like,
it was his first one. It was right out of college.
Okay, so, like, you know, for somebody's first movie, it's not that bad. So somebody probably gassed him up. I was like, dude, this is, like, pretty good, you know? So he just must keep, like, hanging on to those words that somebody gave him.
I mean, it had a national release, so, you know, I mean, it's
yeah, it made 95,000, remember?
Oh, wait, on this?
Box office smash.
Oh, no. So, is this the one you were quoting? Okay, so they made, so I dove into that a little bit, right? They made 95,000 in their limited release weekend, which was like 15 theaters. And that was in December. Then in March, one of the distributors was like, okay, we're going to pick this up and we're going to put it all around the country. And they made $2.7 million in the opening weekend across the country. Okay. So not bad, but they probably bamboozled a lot of people.
Yeah, because then he said it was 7 million worldwide, but it was also just 7 million period.
It was 7 million period, which is still, by the way, not great. And also, you know, that's all time, 7 million all time. It was 2.7, and I did find the budget. Okay, so yeah, remember how I said the budget was like low? It wasn't. It was $2 million. So So they made 2.7. It was cost $2 million to make. So it's regardless of the numbers, it was not a box office smash.
Yeah, he made money off it, but a box office smash is
barely any, not enough. I mean, come on. Yeah, I'm really excited for Witchboard 2.
Enough for him to be able to make Night of the Demons.
Yeah, I'm excited for Witchboard 2. There is a third Witchboard that he co-wrote, but he did not direct it. Witchboard 2, The Devil's Doorway. Witchboard 3, The Possession. Which, like, they both mean, like, the same thing. I don't know. Also, the fact that Kevin Tenney was a construction worker is alarming because of how he filmed what construction workers were doing. Because if I had to guess, I would have said the director had never been near a construction site or knew what tools construction workers used.
That's a great point.
Dude, Jim is a construction worker, and I'm not saying this tool doesn't exist. What I'm saying is there's no reason for a construction worker or a carpenter to carry around a hammer with an axe on the back of it. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen. What would that be for?
Dude, I've seen that tool before. I have, but he is using that to literally just hammer nails into a wall, which could not pose a bigger safety issue.
No, that's more what I'm saying. Like, I believe that tool. I would believe that tool exists somewhere in this world, but it's not for carpentry. Dude,
not for hammering nails.
Swinging a hammer by your face with an axe pointed towards your face.
And, I'm glad that you brought this scene up because I thought it was just me. Like, he is swinging the hammer so close to his face that nobody who's ever swung a hammer would ever do that.
Especially
even
one
if it
with
didn't
an
have
axe.
a hatchet attached to it. Yeah. It still has the, like the nail prong. It's like you don't want that near your face. This one has a sharp blade attached.
Have you? And also, I don't know if you noticed the nails that he was putting into that drywall. How damaged the drywall was around the nails. Oh,
and he was hammering them like all the way through.
dude, he was like
weren't
punching
going
them
in-
through.
Yeah, where they weren't going into a stud; they were just going right through the drywall.
All right. So with that said, let's kick this off. Oh wait, I do have some other ones, some other facts, which this is insane. So again, I do believe he wrote this because there was a probable, I can't even guess. It was about 3 paragraphs worth of the running gags on site. On set, there were numerous running gags that Wagner was mostly involved in. I don't know who Wagner is. I'll be honest, but anyway, and this is only one of them. The rest were so boring that I didn't bother writing them down because I never heard of anything so stupid in my life. By the way, Tawny Katane was dating O.J. Simpson at this time, and I don't know why I feel the need to share that, but it's just interesting. In one of the pranks, Katane devastatingly believed on set that her poodle was accidentally run over by the props truck. But she was relieved to find that the dog was safe and it was only a gag prop with hair similar to her dog's laid in the road.
Wait. Wait. So they didn't just tell her dog was dead? They actually ran over a fake dog?
They ran over a fake dog that was just prop hair that they had matched the dog's color.
That's fucking ridiculous. I would leave that set and never come back.
Joe, all the pranks are against Katane. And the facts in this movie, I feel as if they were written to be funny, and they're all awful. They're all awful. And Katane requested that Katane has a nude scene in this where she gets out of the shower. And she said she felt so uncomfortable with the mostly male staff, she asked them all to leave. And it was only the cameraman and her and I think one of the special effects guys. And it said, she got more comfortable and then allowed the director to come in. And it said, which caused a huge uproar because all the men weren't allowed to be there. Of course they weren't. Are you fucking kidding me? This is fucking insane. Fucking madness. And they were like, yeah, they hired her because all the men on set knew who she was. This is fucking nuts, dude. Like, why are you putting this in your fucking Wikipedia page?
Sean, did we do a movie? I know this is a fact for a movie because I wouldn't just make this up. But I don't know if it's one that you did or one that me and Tina watched. But there's a movie where somebody felt really uncomfortable doing a nude scene, so the compromise was that the director filmed it while being nude. So fucking ridiculous.
That was not a movie we did. I'm looking it up right now.
I want to say William Hurt was in it. I don't know why.
Oh god, these aren't even good. No, it's not even coming up. We'll have to look that up though. That's amazing.
I'm googling it right now.
I would 100% request that. Well, no, I don't need it. If I were a woman, I would request that. Like, you piece of shit. Like, if you want to sit here and watch it, you can fucking get naked also. Fucking creep. All right, so
dude, I'm sorry. I think it might be Body Heat.
Body Heat?
Yeah.
What the fuck is Body Heat?
I don't know.
1981. Yeah.
Whatever page I just clicked on is definitely giving me a virus.
You and Tina definitely watch this. It's 1981.
Yeah.
This is definitely your. Oh wait, he dude, he co-wrote Star Wars.
Who?
The director of Body Heat.
Co-wrote Star Wars? Oh, what's his name?
Lawrence Kasdan. Yeah.
Oh, didn't he direct the second? Didn't he do Empire?
He might have. Yeah, I don't know those that well.
I think he did.
That's crazy.
Well, anyway, I'll look it up.
All right. Well, this film stars Tawny Katane. She's the biggest celebrity here, and I don't mean to disparage Miss Katane, but I'm pretty sure she was just famous for Whitesnake videos.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
That is 100% correct.
Okay. And then this guy was like, we're hiring you for your acting chops.
Yeah, but didn't the Whitesnake videos come after this?
Oh, did they?
I think so, dude.
I mean, she's actually not even that bad of an actress, I'll be honest with you. The woman
No, she's not.
The woman in Witch Trap is way worse. And quite honestly, both men in this are way worse.
These guys are equally terrible.
Yeah. So we open up with these guys. There's no one really else to know other than Vincente from Witch Trap is in this. You don't ever really see his face because he's wearing sunglasses and just talking like a gnarly dude the entire time.
I want to correct myself. Whitesnake was way before this.
That's kind of what I thought, because this was 86, so yeah.
Yeah, and she was in Bachelor Party as Tom Hanks' bride-to-be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Good for her. So we open at this party where Tawny Katane is, and where we don't know who Tawny Katane is dating, because she's holding both men's hand. This is Jim and Brandon, who is also very hard to tell apart because they're just two idiots. And they begin arguing about, I guess, the universe, because this is what you do at a party, and talking about whether God created the universe or not.
Yes.
There's nothing to say. It's insane. It's insane dialogue. And Jim,
Dude, Jim gets so bent out of shape over the most childish comments.
he is the most sensitive human being on earth. It's so insane. It's so insane. He is insane.
But Sean, the things that he gets most mad about, like the blonde-haired guy, what's his name?
Brandon.
Brandon's like, yeah, Jim, I'm not surprised that you wouldn't believe in intelligent life forms because you're not one. Like something as stupid as that. And he's like, fuck you, and like storms out. And then Brandon's like, hey, what are you gonna do? Go get drunk just like your dad? Which is something that he says multiple times over the film. It's something that probably should warrant a punch to the face. And Jim's not nearly as mad about that as he was about being insulted as being called not an intelligent life form.
Every single time Brandon brings up his father, which is about drinking, which I don't know if they ever talk about, but he just keeps being like your old drunk dad. Jim's basically like, nah, whatever. But when Brandon's like, hey, ignoramus, he's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, he's ready to throw hands.
Dude, Jim, when he loses his mind about him calling him like a caveman or whatever, and he's like, what are you gonna do, get drunk? Guess what? Jim goes to the kitchen and immediately starts drinking whiskey and smoking cigarettes. And that's when Tawny Katane is sitting on Brandon's lap or near Brandon, not her boyfriend. And then she comes into the kitchen and is like, what's wrong, baby? And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? So I still assumed Jim was the ex, and she was like, I was like, oh, she's kind of playing up the ex thing right now.
Yeah, same, because Jim even makes a comment, and he's like, I told you he was no good.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so this guy's the ex, and he like warned her about that, but it's totally reversed.
Oh my god, it's amazing. And we also see Vincente in this and some other guy who just love to drink and make wisecracks. Vincente's back at wisecracking. That is his move, and good for him. Yeah. They start discussing, Brandon starts talking about the Ouija board that they have, which there is a Wikipedia entry about the whole name of the movie, because the movie was supposed to be named Ouija and changed to Witchboard. The weird part about that, and it might be a typo in the Wikipedia, I don't know, but it said Parker Brothers does not own the name Ouija, but for some reason they got confused and took out insurance and then had to change the name to Witchboard. And fun fact, that's why they changed the board randomly in the middle of the movie.
Because they didn't have the rights to it?
They thought they didn't, but I guess there is no rights to it. So I don't...
Dude, that is That's rich. That's totally something our idiot friends would do. Be like, dude, I think this isn't legal, and then completely change everything before checking to see if it's legal.
Joe, that's how it's written in Wikipedia. I swear to God, I triple checked it because I thought I was reading it incorrectly. I read it like 6 times and 1 time out loud even because it didn't make any fucking sense to me. It could be a typo though. It could be that Parker Brothers does own it, which would make sense, but still probably should have checked that before you started filming with a Parker Brothers board.
Before basing your entire film around it.
Because it's not like you can buy a Ouija board. I mean, I guess you could, but they 100% just bought the box and, brought it to set. So you would think somebody owns it and check. But anyway, and there's so much detail. Joe, he definitely wrote it. There's so much detail talking about it, including his insurance premiums and the bond, the insurance bond he had to purchase in order to cover in case Parker Brothers sued them.
Dude, I love it because to your point, we've done like really well-known movies that have fucking nothing they give us no information to talk about. Like everything we have to come up with on our own.
Dude,
fucking Witchboard. The
amount of a bond, it was insane. And also, who would even give a fuck about the bonding of insurance for using the Ouija name? It was insane. And also, like, why even change the name of the movie if you're using the board? I don't know. Maybe just not to draw attention.
Yeah.
But boy, this guy loves the name Witch without having a single fucking witch in any of them.
That's very true.
And, sorry, just to cut off again. The ghost in this, he's the same guy, right? As Witch Trap?
He's most definitely that fucking idiot. I can't even think of his name. Yeah, the guy with the beard.
Yeah. That was incredible. Like, this guy, he loves going back to the well. Good for him.
Keeps his people fed.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. And think about it. This guy's making, these movies were playing in theaters. If you're one of the actors, you're thinking, if I stay with this guy, he might get me some fucking work.
That's on them. If they fucking thought that, everything that's happened to him is on them.
Oh my God. Oh God, yeah, that was amazing. So, okay, so yeah, they start talking about the Ouija board. And these two dudes are literally passing Tawny Katane around. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. She's sitting on Jim's lap. Then Brandon's like, why don't you come use this Ouija board with me? And like, they're holding hands. And I was just baffled. And Jim's just like... grumbling under his fucking breath. Jim will get even weirder as the movie goes on. It's insane. I honestly thought he might have been the one possessed. Because it was so weird. Brandon, the ex, says he wants to call David, who is a dead kid. Can you imagine, Joe, being at a party and some fucking asshole is like, yeah, let's call this dead kid I call all the time.
I talk to every night.
Go fuck home. Get the fuck out of this fucking party, you fucking weirdo. Like, what are you doing?
I completely agree. Like, and it was like a pretty poppin' party too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, things were going and people were like, ooh, Ouija, this is fun. And he's like, all right, hang on one second. I'm going to call this dead 10-year-old. The fuck?
We've been bonding the past couple weeks.
Well, they
fucking
call
asshole.
him. They call David, but Brandon immediately, I want to say hangs up, which I don't think you can do, but he does. Because he's like, oh, so sorry, wrong number, goodbye. And hangs up on the fucking ghost. And he's like, that wasn't David. He said he was David, but it wasn't. These spirits are liars. They'll just say whatever they want. He calls again. David, are you all right? And fucking Jim thinks he's cutting wisecracks and is literally saying the most offensive shit to the point where I would have thrown Brandon out, but I would have also thrown Jim out. Cause he's like, David, are you all right? And Jim goes, yeah, just a little dead. That's all. Just, everyone get the fuck out of my house right now. Fuck are you doing?
I completely agree.
Just a little dead, that's all. And he makes a few other wisecracks about the dead kid, which is insane.
Yeah, and fun fact, it pisses the ghost off.
Oh, pisses the ghost off so much he storms away, pops Brandon's tires, and then Brandon's like, "This is all your fault, Jim. You made him mad," which I know is true, but is insane. And Brandon's actual line is, "Oh my god, those were brand new tires."
Also, everybody in that house heard those tires pop, and they went outside and confirmed it, and that was like the end of it. That would be like a life-changing event if you were at a party and somebody contacted what he said is a ghost that he's been speaking with, and you pissed it off and it blew up your tires. That would shatter my reality. And everyone's just like, time to go home now.
Everyone. And Jim was like, "You fucking idiot." Jim literally makes fun of the Ouija board and calls it stupid the entire time until one of the stupidest things happens. And then he's like, "Oh my god. All right, I'm in, you son of a bitch." Of all the things, it's like way later on. And he's finally like, "Oh my god. The ghost, the ghost through the
same plot. It's the same plot as Witch Trap, except there's no board in Witch Trap. It's just a fucking Witch
right.
Trap.
Also, there's another cop in this, as if it's a procedural.
Dude, I actually forgot about that detective aspect.
That's because he shows up 3 times.
Dude, that cop character is so fucking useless.
There's zero reason for him to be in the movie. He shows up 3 times, and every time he's like, "I'm keeping an eye on you, Jim." Oh my god, it's so stupid.
Yeah, there's so many subplots, because there's like the pregnancy subplot too.
Dude, what? Which is literally just in there just so Jim could constantly be like, "Is she nuts or pregnant? They're the same thing, you fucking idiot." What's the fucking difference? Like, he makes like 4 jokes like
Wait. Now that I'm thinking about it, did she ever say that she was pregnant, or did he just assume that?
No, she says it. She tells him.
Okay.
She tells him, and he just like stares off into the distance while fucking "Hello, Darkness, my old friend" plays in the It was like the sad Affleck face.
All right. Because at first I thought he just said it when he was talking obnoxiously close to Brandon in the abandoned warehouse. Because Brandon, he's like, "Is she doing all this stuff?" And he lists like 1,000 symptoms that nobody would ever display unless they were possessed by a demon. and Jim's like, "Yeah, well, you know what else has those symptoms? Pregnant women." Like, what?
I'm so glad you have it. I have the same note. 0 of those symptoms are for pregnant people. It was like, "Is there a demon scratching at her stomach?"
Yeah, it's like speaking in tongues.
Jim has like the worst. Jim has like the no handle on what pregnancy is.
Yeah. And like, he never does he ever even act upon any of it until they go to the hospital?
Oh my god, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. He's like,
does nothing. Yeah, okay.
Oh my god. Oh fuck, this is so funny. All right, so they pop the tires. The ghost pops the tires. We get a weird construction worker scene where Vincente throws an axe at Jim's face for some reason.
Dude, I wish Paul's on this episode, because we know a guy that threw a hatchet at a kid's face in his treehouse because he wouldn't pass him like a crayon. Luckily, the back end hit the kid in the mouth and only split his mouth open instead of killing him.
Oh fuck. And yeah, that's really all we get. We just get the construction site. We see Vincente and Jim kind of hanging out ominously under this scaffolding and we see an axe on top of it, so you assume something's going to happen with the axe.
Sean, this director loves foreshadowing because, like we said in the beginning, the kills are very few and far between, and before the kills happen, he like zooms in on an inanimate object for a considerable amount of time, and you're like, oh, okay, like somebody's gonna fall on this, or this is gonna kill somebody.
I just choked on my drink. It's true.
Because there's the sundial scene, and the sundial's not in the shot. It like zooms all the way out just to go to that sundial.
It zooms so tight on the sundial. Oh, what's going to happen with this? You'll find out in 5 minutes. Like, you don't even need the kill.
Oh, no, you don't. But yeah, he zooms in on this axe.
This axe, which we're just like, okay. Tawny's home alone and starts talking to David through the Ouija for no reason.
Because it was left at her house.
Right, so she starts fucking around with it to talk to David. David does not like Jim, he reveals. And she's like, you know how to hold a grudge? And he says, yes, through the Ouija. We get a little backstory on Jim and Brandon, how they went to med school, and Brandon is the ex, and it takes fucking forever. And they're just talking, and it's just awful, and it's insane. And we haven't gotten to the pregnancy part, but Jim goes back to Vincente, and they're sitting on the drywall, and then for some reason Jim gets up, and 4 sheets of drywall fall on Vincente's fucking face. And
which, by the way, the gore isn't that terrible. Like when they zoom in on Vicente's face.
No, I
wish there was more of that.
Yeah, there just needed to be a bit more of it. I don't know. I don't know if drywall would kill you though, if it landed on your face like that.
And it didn't. I mean, that's a great point because you can easily punch through layers and layers of drywall. And it didn't fall from that high.
No, I don't know if it would have killed him.
And it like mangled his face.
It like destroyed him.
That's a good point.
Vincente dies there. But one of the fun facts in Wikipedia was that the guy that played Jim couldn't stop laughing in this scene for some reason. And they had to reshoot it like 6 times. Because every time it fell and killed Vincente, he just started laughing like uncontrolled.
Yeah, because he was probably thinking about how drywall would never kill a human being.
That's so. One of my favorite stories from our friend John Tooley was that he went and saw Home Alone 2 with his dad, and his brother. And there's the scene where they're laying. I think they're laying in a dumpster, and Kevin drops like 3,000 pounds of bricks on them.
Dude, I know that scene well because it would just fucking murder them.
Dude, and John said his dad didn't laugh once in the movie except for that scene, and he started laughing uncontrollably loud and yelled, "That would kill them!" Oh my god.
Dude, he's so high up throwing fucking tons of bricks on people.
Throwing bricks at people is insane. So Vincente's dead. And then David, the ghost, tells Tawny the location of a lost ring. Which, kind of a weird scene also. She gets the ring out. She cuts her finger in a weird ominous thing, so you think something else bad might happen, but it doesn't.
She's sticking her finger, bare hand, into that disgusting drain, and then she uses a toothbrush. Did you pick up on that? She uses a toothbrush to get the ring out?
Yes.
And she puts it back into the cabinet.
And all you have to do, honestly, would have been just unscrew the other end of the pipe and fucking flip it upside down.
Yeah, and then just turn it upside down. I know. Trust me, I know. But instead she sticks a toothbrush up there and then puts it back in the cabinet without even washing it off. That honestly really irked me.
It irked me too. And but it didn't irk me as much as when she gets it, I think she says something like fucking shit, or she swears about something, and then Jim is like standing behind her Like a fucking psycho.
He's like, what the hell's up with your potty mouth?
He's so upset by her cursing. He's like, when'd you learn to talk like that?
Dude, that's one of the pregnancy symptoms that he says.
Yes. And he's like, and when did you take up plumbing? Which might have also been one of the pregnancy symptoms. Brandon's like, has she been plumbing lately? Jim's like, yeah, that's what pregnant women fucking do. You fucking idiot.
Also, calling that plumbing is a fucking stretch.
Like, it was nuts. It was nuts. He was so mad that she knew how to take off the ring catch in the the fucking sink. Oh my god. Then Jim just starts fucking crying because Vincente was killed, and Tawny goes, I never liked you doing that job. It's so dangerous. It's fucking carpentry. Like, I know there's safety hazards in carpentry, but it's not like working on an oil rig or working with toxic waste. He's fucking, there should never be an incident like that. And you shouldn't be using a fucking axe as a hammer. Tawny wakes up. She smiles for some reason. I guess at the presence of a ghost, because it kind of went to killer POV. And I think we assume somebody's in the room and she smiles and then she goes and barfs. And that's when she decides that she's pregnant. She doesn't actually know though. And she
doesn't take a test. Yeah.
She makes sure to explain that later. When Jim asks her, he's like, are you sure? And she's like, well, no, but I have an appointment Monday. What the fuck? Most well thought out movie. The homicide cop shows up. I don't even have his name because it does not matter.
It doesn't matter.
And he starts talking about magic in way too long of a scene. And he's talking about magic and he's like, hey, you know what the best part of a magic trick is? When they tell me how they fucking did it. Like, obviously he's talking about the murder and Jim's like, wait a minute. This isn't about magic, is it? Fucking idiot. Yeah, I've got a feeling this isn't about magic anymore.
Also, that death was like the least... It did not look like a murder whatsoever. It would have just been... anyone that would have saw it would be like, holy shit, that's a fucking workplace accident.
And honestly, though, the only thing I have against that, though, is Jim... The guy's like, well, you lost your hatchet, didn't you? And Jim's like, well, it's a hammer. It's like, if I'm a cop, I'm like, okay, well, it's not. You're a fucking asshole.
That is a good point, because the second time the cop shows up, Jim's just like, I guess it just disappeared.
I'd be like, okay, you're a piece of shit. You did this for sure. Of course it's a fucking axe. Are you nuts? Like, you wouldn't you wouldn't mix up the two. Like, oh, no, it's a hammer. Tawny goes back to David, asks if he caused the accident. He says no, but abruptly just disappears, loses connection with Tawny. She calls Brandon to talk about it. And she's like, oh, yeah, Jim's all upset. And Brandon's like, hey, that guy's never cried in his fucking life. I think something's up. And I'm just so fucking good. Brandon, just fucking, they're in love. They're so fucking in love. He has to tell Tawny that. Tawny then reveals she's pregnant. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, Brandon's the one that like initiated all of it. He was like, oh yeah, how's he doing with that accident? And then just like spills the beans about everything, how he internalizes things and how he reacts to news. Yeah,
it's bizarre. Well, Tawny reveals she's pregnant. Jim, again, this is where it starts, where he's like, oh, that's what explains why you've been acting like a crazy piece of shit. And she's like, oh, Jim, you're right. Which is insane. Tawny then has a dream with a casket and a Ouija, and then she gets choked. So, of course, she immediately goes to the Ouija and tells David she's giving the board back to Brandon, which he is not happy about. In the kitchen, David sends a message to her by throwing a knife at the floor. This was my favorite thing. of all the things he could do to her to send a message, he throws a knife on the floor, maybe like 6 feet away from her, and then spills ketchup on top of it. It was a T for time to get out. Tawny goes, "Oh my God." And then, oh, wait, this is weird. So the camera pans out to like a wide shot. I didn't realize how weird this was until just now. It pans out to a wide shot, and then we just hear Tawny scream. So you would think Tawny is in harm's way, but I don't think. Oh wait, no, she is. She does get in harm's. She just faints. I think something happens and she faints. I believe, right? I don't know.
I thought that was later on.
So dude, I think a bunch of shit happens in the middle, and then because when Brandon and Jim get together, they ignore Linda completely, or Tawny Katane. Because
somebody calls like the foreman.
Yeah,
and it's like something terrible happened to Tawny.
Yeah,
and the guy still wants to continue his conversation with Brandon.
It's insane. He's so pissed that the conversation's interrupted. Because Brandon and Jim, that's the next scene. Brandon and Jim are talking about Tawny in the longest conversation that does not need to happen. And again, it's like, it's a list of like talking in tongues and whatever. And he's like, yeah, of course she does that. She's fucking pregnant, idiot. And Brandon's like,
wait, that's the next scene? I thought the psychic showed up before that.
No, that's after.
Okay.
So Brandon's basically like, well, good luck with that. Almost like let the better man win. And swearing more was was 100% one of the things, and he said a pregnant woman does. But Brandon basically tells Jim that Linda is about to be possessed through this whatever it's called. I forget the name. I have it written down somewhere in here. Just not where.
Progressive.
Oh yeah, here it is. They're all symptoms of progressive entrapment. And that's when he's like, yeah, they're also symptoms of pregnancy, idiot. Fucking asshole. Then Linda calls Jim, and Jim's like, God damn it. And he takes it, and he says David is scaring her, and he's like, this is the scene where he finally believes her. This is it. Of all the things, he takes the phone call, and she's like, David, she's like, Jim, David's scaring me. And he's like, oh my God, baby, I'm so sorry. I'll be right over, I promise. What the fuck? Fucking popped some guy's tires, but your girlfriend, for the 14th time, being like, this guy David scares the shit out of me. You're finally like, oh my God. And then David looks at Brandon and is like, all right, bring your medium over tonight. That's all it took. The medium is the best. I love the medium. She's great.
The most 80s style I've ever seen.
Dude, 80s incarnate. Literally, if you could put the 80s in a human being and let them walk around, it's her. It's her, 100%. They bring the medium over to their house, and she becomes David. Says he's mad at Linda because Jim won't let her talk to him anymore. Linda somehow fucks up the ritual, although I don't think she does, but Brandon's just like, Linda, you idiot. Like, she stands up. But really,
dude,
nothing
I can't believe how similar this actually is to Witch Trap when you actually say it out loud.
It is. It's the same fucking movie, so I can't wait for number 2. And then, nothing really comes from this medium, but when David drives her home, all of a sudden she's at the house. She's like, well, that was it. That was cool. Neat. See you guys later. And then they leave, and then she's like, hey, you ever heard the word malfader before? And Brandon's like, it's Portuguese for evil. How do you know this? She's like, that stupid kid David talks about it constantly. You're fucking kidding me? Now you're bringing it up as you're being drunk?
Such an integral part of like everything you're there for.
Yeah, you ever hear this word malfader? Oh yeah, that fucking idiot.
Also, why would he know that that's Portuguese for evil?
Oh, fun fact, it's not Portuguese for evil either.
Oh, you looked it
I
up?
looked it up. Mal, M-A-L, is Portuguese for evil. I don't know what fader. Fucking idiots. Malfader. I mean, maybe it means something else. I tried putting into Google Translate a bunch of different things like evil spirit, and nothing came up with it. That doesn't mean it's not correct, but I mean, it's probably not. And Brandon's like, wait a minute, David wasn't Portuguese. Which might be my favorite line in the whole fucking movie.
It's the shittiest foreshadowing.
Oh, wait a sec. She goes home and we see the sharpest sundial fucking ever made. It's fucking sharpened on one end. It's fucking blade.
So dangerous.
Killer POV chases our medium up the stairs and hits her with a hammer or an axe, which, by the way, Witch Trap, they were throwing axes everywhere also.
Yeah.
Which is fucking bizarre. Why was that their go-to effect?
Guy loves it.
And she falls out the window onto the
I just snorted so loud into the mic, so I apologize.
Well, Brandon wakes up. Part of the deal with the medium, bringing the medium over, was he was going to take the board back from Tawny and, or Linda and Jim. So the next morning he wakes up to the news of the medium being dead, and he looks in the box of the Ouija board, and it is missing. And we basically realize Linda's mostly possessed at this point. I have a joke here, and it's so bad I'm not going to say it. Okay. The cop is, we cut to Jim, who's in his room looking out the window, watching the cop watching him while sensually eating oranges. He has 4 oranges lined up on his dashboard and is like sucking a whole orange out of its skin in the scene. Meanwhile, Linda is using the Ouija and is starting to throw her around. She starts screaming. Jim runs to her. It locks Jim out. Linda gets concussion. She's knocked out. Jim puts her in the bed, which happens to be a water bed, which is insane to see on screen. I know there's a ton of 80s movies with water beds in them, but it's so insane. It looks so uncomfortable. I had one as a kid. There's zero support in that fucking thing. What was the purpose of those?
Doof had one. He did.
Of course. Well, they also Jim throws the Ouija board out of a second story window, and it lands perfectly in the trash.
It's my second favorite fall of the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a fact about that fall, of course, but I can't wait to tell you. Then Jim brings Linda to the hospital, and that's where they learn she is not pregnant. So I guess that reinforces the fact that she's possessed. I guess through elimination, they've determined she's possessed.
It was either one or the other.
Then the best part, this is when it just, you're so confused about who's dating who, because Jim and Brandon are now like, all right, let's drive to the Big Bear Public Library. Now, this would be fine. But I Googled, they are in Fairfield, California in this movie. They reference that several times in the movie. I Googled how far Big Bear was from Fairfield. It is an 8-hour drive.
Well,
from Fairfield to Big Bear. That's
Sean, not only that, but Brandon told Jim that he was doing. He's like, I'm gonna go to Big Bear because that's where David lived, and like I'm gonna look shit up. And after Jim finds out that she's not pregnant, he shows up, and it's like the most cliche romantic thing where somebody who's scorned their lover shows back up. Is like, I'm here for you. You're not going alone. And that's like pretty much how he delivers that line. And they go on that drive together.
100%. He's like, I can't let you do this by yourself.
Yeah.
And now that bitch Linda's unconscious, I can finally go. It is 100% that, and it's an 8-hour drive. That's not a trip. That's not an investigative trip. That's a fucking vacation. Like, you're taking a fucking vacation together while your girlfriend or fiance, I don't know, is in a coma. And by the way, she's the one that's fucking possessed and constantly is being targeted. Why would you leave her?
And they're both aware of that at this point.
You're the only people aware of it. Everyone else thinks she fell down. Oh my God. They look up David's cause of death once they get to Big Bear. And then they're like, they think the best idea is to call his parents. Imagine. Can you fucking imagine, dude, the balls on somebody to call you about your dead fucking kid? And then they're like, oh yeah, I've been talking to him through a Ouija board. Yeah. And now he's real mad.
Was he hanging around with any Portuguese guys?
How much Portuguese did David know? None. Well, that doesn't go well. They don't get a hold of the parents, so they come up with a worse idea, which is go to desecrate the graves. They go to the cemetery. They go to the cemetery to get the address off the cemetery invoices.
They go to interrogate the caretaker of the cemetery.
Well, that doesn't work either because they go at fucking midnight as if it's going to be open.
Sean, I thought that too because they clearly stated their plan was to go talk to that guy and they showed up in the middle of the night.
They show up in the middle of the night and Jim's like, Jim climbs over the fence and is like, yeah, it's not open. Yeah, you should have known that if you had to climb over a fucking fence. Oh my God. So then Jim is like, well, let's just go look at the grave. Maybe we'll get information off of that. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Then Brandon says the same line twice, and I think it's an editing error. He goes, I got a bad feeling about this. And then it cuts, and Brandon's about to climb over the fence, and he goes, I got a bad feeling about this.
I think I love this movie, Sean.
No, it's one of those ones that when we tell it, it's so much better than the fucking movie. They go over, they find David's grave, which of course has no information on it because it's a fucking grave. But we do find out David's parents are also dead. And much like the rest of the movie, they just make the assumption. Brandon's just like, oh my God, they died in the same accident. It's like, well, probably said that in the news article, I imagine.
Imagine leaving that bit of information out. Not mentioning the other two family members.
God, it's fucking insane. Brandon and Jim have a little H to H here. As our friends say. Have a little heart to heart. But it's not little, it's huge. And I don't even know what the fuck they talk about. I'll be quite honest. They had a falling out at school at some point, and Brandon's just like, "You're the fucking best, Jim." Jim's just like, "Brandon, you're so fucking smart." It's just two guys hanging out, complimenting each other in a fucking cemetery. Well, back at the hospital, Linda wakes up, and her two fucking boyfriends are 8 fucking hours away. But of course, she wakes up and hears David calling her. And then has a dream that the witch trap guy chops off her head with an axe.
Yes.
Joe, one of the notes in Wikipedia details the effects used in this scene. As if Joe, it's like, oh yeah, this stunt was used with a stuntman putting his head down where the shoulders are and then chopping off a foam head. Imagine that being a reveal. Also, they used a real axe. They used a real fucking axe in that scene, and there was concerns about concerns about the safety. Oh my god. Well, Brandon and Jim go, they buy a new Ouija board, which is the new one. Not the Ouija brand, but the off-brand Ouija board. And David tells them evil is the one terrorizing them. So we learn through this insanely long Ouija session that David is... it's a fucking 10-year-old spelling things out. It's fucking awful. We learn that David has not been the one talking to them. Which, fun fact, we've literally known forever.
Yeah, the psychic revealed that like an hour ago.
We've basically known this. Because, yeah, anyway. But we learn it again. And David tells them Malfader is her, Her. And it takes them fucking 30 minutes to put this together where they're like, wait a minute, that means here. And of course, right as they say here, a bunch of barrels fall on top of them. And Brandon gets got with an axe to the face.
Yeah, he gets killed. Also, again, not terrible effects.
No, not terrible, not terrible. Jim wakes up.
It's also the third kill in like a 3-hour span. So, yeah.
Brandon. I mean, Jim wakes up and the Papa Ghoul is still watching him. I don't know what he does to get away from him, but I don't know. I don't know. But he goes to the water.
Why didn't he just kill them both? With the axe, right? You know what I mean?
I mean, he's throwing axes every which way but loose, so I don't fucking know. But Brandon goes to the water to grab something. I don't know why. Or Jim goes to the water to grab something, and then Brandon grabs him, and Brandon's dead. So I don't know how he grabbed him, but Jim is fucking sobbing.
That's so stupid.
It's insane. Oh boy. Back in wherever, Fairfield, California, Linda takes a shower. We get the Tawny Katane nude scene. The shower goes on boiling. Tawny, does she fall through the glass? Does she jump?
She punches through.
Was the door locked?
I don't know, Sean, because she was screaming because the water was getting hotter and hotter, and I feel like her first instinct was to just punch through it instead of trying to open it.
Like a fucking rat.
Yeah,
eat your way out.
I could be wrong, but I honestly wrote that down because I'm pretty sure that was her first reaction.
I'm 90% sure also. That's why I kind of thought she fell through it. I don't think she checked the door and was like, oh shit. I'm pretty sure she was just like, ah! Just like started punching fucking glass.
Also, I've been, who has not stepped into a shower and the water's super hot? You just fucking stand out of the way. It's not you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not like you have to stand in the stream.
Oh man. And this director
she could have handled that. She could have handled that way better.
Oh, absolutely. The director loves these shower scenes too. This is the second one.
Yes.
It's ridiculous. And by the way, at this point, we have 10 minutes left. And to me, I could not even figure out how they were going to wrap this fucking up in 10 minutes. Those guys are 8 hours away in Big Bear. Oh, boy. Also, Linda sees the witch trap guy who's just like, whoa. And that's the end of the scene. Jim shows up to her house the next morning and it's a fucking mess. It's a disaster. Which, again, honestly, so one of the scenes we skipped over before when she screamed, and the landlady was the one who found her, right? And,
yes.
And said she was scared. That was, the landlady found her because she screamed. Could you imagine? The house is torn to shreds. Every piece of furniture is flipped. Where was the landlady?
That's a good point.
That would have been the loudest fucking... Oh, it was insane. And Jim shows up and he's just like, oh my God. And then Linda appears and she is dressed up as the witch trap guy. She's got like a top.
Wearing a fedora.
A fedora, yeah. She went costume shopping. Oh my God, this ghoul has a flair for the dramatic.
Wait. Did we say that, like, when they found out who Malfador was, he was like a serial killer?
Wait,
and
did they?
Yeah, dude, he's like a mass murderer, and also the murders happened in the house that Jim's staying.
Joe,
I
don't remember that at all.
I don't think I made that up, but no, I'm pretty sure. Once Brandon dies,
he finds that out.
He goes to back to the microfiche and finds out that Malfador was an axe murderer. That's what it was. Yeah, he was an axe murderer, and he killed people in Jim's own home, the same one that Linda's in right now.
There was a Portuguese guy in Fairfield, California, killing people with an axe.
Yes.
Well, I mean, so this is Witch Trap.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, Linda throws an axe at Jim. Linda's about to kill him, but Jim punches her, which I don't care what situation we're in, really, for the most part. When you see a man punch a woman, it is so alarming to see. Especially with the sound effects, and it's just like a huge fucking wind up fucking punch in the face. It's just so crazy to see. So Jim punches her, and of course the cops walk in, and they're like, "Oh, you did it now, Jim." Which, imagine walking in and you see Tawny Katane dressed as a man in a fedora. You'd probably just try to question everyone. Well, the cop's about to arrest Jim, but then fucking Linda, because I was thinking, this is a great setup for Linda to get away or whatever happens at the end. But instead, Linda fucking kills the cop. Linda, who is also now Malfador, an axe murderer, tells Jim the entire plan. She's like, Jim, you're really the portal, which I guess isn't truly the plan, but Linda tells Jim, you're really the portal, and as long as you live, so does he, the Malfador. And Jim is about to kill himself, but then takes a real fucking risk and just starts shooting the Ouija board. Which does, in fact...
This is Witch Trap to the T.
Joe, I was just about to say that. I just realized that. This is the same ending. Except instead of a heart being thrown out the window, Jim throws himself out the window. So Jim shoots the Ouija board, and fucking Malfador pushes Jim's out the window. And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen.
This no lie, it's this is probably worth sitting through the entire movie for, because it is the funniest / shittiest fall I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's so slow.
This is the equivalent. Not the equivalent. I don't know the word for it. This is the mirror, not mirror image. It's I don't know how to explain it. It's like the brother to the iced slow kill with the bulldozer. Except this is a fall. It's like they're related. It's the same fucking thing, but different kills entirely. He falls out of a second-story window, and it takes him 15 seconds to land on the ground.
And it's on him the entire time.
And so here's the fact that I read. The way they filmed this was they had to lay Jim on on a crane arm. And the reason his hands are out instead of flailing around are because his shoulders needed to block the crane arm. So he had to just leave his arms straight up and down like that. So they couldn't see the crane underneath it. If he moved any way, even like an inch, you would have seen the crane underneath him.
That's so stupid.
Oh man.
That's funny though, because I was literally wondering why was he so stiff like that.
Oh my god. Well, it cuts. It's not the end yet. God fucking damn it. We cut to a funeral. Or no, we cut to a church.
Church. You think it's a funeral?
You almost assume it's a funeral, except that there's pink ribbons on the pews. You could have gotten rid of those and still had the same effect, and a better effect, honestly. But it's not a funeral. It's a wedding. And Jim is getting married in a fucking neck brace. To Tawny. It's a beautiful ending. But that's not the ending. Another fucking dusty finish. We cut to the apartment, which, by the way, fucking asshole Linda and Jim left a fucking disaster. They just fucking left. Didn't clean up for the poor fucking landlady. They're cleaning up their fucking mess. The landlady's cleaning up and finds the Ouija board with all the holes shot in it. And her daughter, niece or something, says, does it work with all these holes in it? And the mother doesn't respond. And she throws it in the trash. And then at the end, we quickly see the Ouija scope thing slide over to yes. Super fast. And that, my friends, is witch. I almost said witch trap. Which it is, but it's also Witchboard.
That would not be incorrect. Yeah.
It's also Witchboard. Next week we do Witchboard 2, which not thrilled about. Not fucking.
Listen. We just got to get through next week, and then we hit the gold with Pinocchio's Revenge.
I'm so fucking excited. Also, I'm pretty sure Vincente is in Pinocchio's Revenge. Also,
thank God.
So, if you thought Witchboard's financials were bad, get a load of this. Witchboard 2, they were like, hey, buddy, we're going to give you $1.5 million to make this movie. And he said, okay, and made $168,000 on it.
Oof. Damn.
That's fucking brutal. Let me see if that's true. That's 100% true. Oh my god. Starring Amy Dolenz. I don't know who that is. As an artist possessed by a ghost of a former occupant of her new apartment. Dude, is it the same apartment? With the same fucking guy? So. Oh my god. I hope it is. I just fucking hope it is. Oh my god. Alright. Well, I'm looking at the cast. Julie Michaels as Susan, the ghost. All right. Well, there's no good facts on this one. TV Guide awarded the film 2 out of 5 stars, writing an ordinary but nicely executed horror film. Witchboard 2 suggests that
way too high.
they gave Witchboard like 3 or 4 out of 5.
Wow, okay.
Witchboard 2 suggests that the Ouija board is the devil's monopoly game. This modest chiller lacks the trashy sex and explicit violence diehard buffs demand, but young couples searching for a makeout movie may give it 2 thumbs up. Why would you even rate that 2 stars? You're basically like, this movie's only good if you don't watch it. This movie's great if you ignore the entire fucking thing. Cool. All right. Well, that's all I got. Do we have anything else to talk about? Are we good?
I think we're good, man.
Patreon's still not up. I will try to get it up this week. Work's been crazy for me. So this week I think I'll slow down a little bit maybe, and I'll try and get it up. Everyone's asking about it. It's crazy. So I'll get that up, and hopefully some new merch coming down the pipe very, very soon. So, and by the way, the relaunch of the Patreon isn't delayed because I'm totally lazy, but I'm trying to figure out something very cool to do for the first round of people that subscribe to our Patreon to make it worth their while. And I think Joe and I are going to do, we've got some ideas. So I know that I think one idea we should do, and whether it's just me or Joe pops in from time to time because he's got a tougher schedule than I do, is do a watch along with a movie. If people want to do that, totally down with that. I think we can do that on something. And then the other thing Joe and I want to do is talk about TV shows made well before we were born that we both love for no reason.
Dude, I'm all on board for that. Nobody our age group should like those shows as much as we do, and we fucking do. So
I'm so excited. I am so excited. So I want to watch Welcome Back, Kotter. I want to watch Happy Days. We'll basically do a Nick at Night podcast for Patreon.
Love it.
And we'll watch whatever we want to watch and just talk about it, and it'll be good.
Yeah, and have like a looser structure than we do for this show.
Way
just
looser, way looser. Because
just recap our thoughts on it.
Yeah, exactly. I told Joe.
although going scene by scene for Welcome Back, Kotter is real. I'm a little drunk, but going scene by scene for Welcome Back, Kotter is really fucking funny. In this scene, Freddie Boom Boom Washington stands up.
John Travolta walks in and says, "Up your nose with a rubber hose."
The insult king of New York.
The insult king of New York. That is not a joke. The kids are like, "Listen, man, you don't want to go toe to toe with what's his character name?"
Fuck. Why do I remember Freddie Boom Boom and not him?
Oh my god, it's not Danny, is it?
No. It's Vinny Barbarino.
Vinny Barbarino. They're talking to Kotter, and they're like, "Listen, man, you don't want to go toe to toe with Barbarino. He's the insult king of New York. He's won all these New York City insult championships." And the first thing John Travolta says to him, Vinny, he's like, "Hey, Kotter, up your nose with a rubber hose." And the whole class is like, "Oh my god!" They lose their fucking minds. They're falling out of their seats.
I can't wait to watch. I've seen dude. That was like the best summer of my life. Every fucking Thursday, I would just watch Welcome Back, Kotter episodes.
Dude, it's incredible. It's fucking incredible. My favorite part about the first episode, the pilot, too, is he goes home because Kotter's a substitute, and he goes home and his wife. He's telling his wife about his day, and she's like, "That sounds awful. Don't do it anymore." And he's like, "I don't know, these kids." And then the kids show up to his fucking house. And I'm like, "Hey, Kotter, you're pretty all right." I'd call the police so fast. Fucking my 40-year-old high school student showed up.
Then definitely never go back to work.
Absolutely not.
It was Newhart. I'm sorry. I don't usually get this drunk while we record, but yeah, whatever. Was Newhart on Nick at Night?
Dude, 100% was. It was.
I'm so excited for Patreon.
I'll download Newhart tonight. Dude, Bob Newhart is still alive. He's 90 fucking years old.
Dude,
it's unbelievable.
Dude, making Daryl and my other brother Daryl jokes. And not a single fucking person our age knows what I'm referencing. It was the bane of my existence.
Dude, Bob Newhart. Didn't Bob Newhart break the fourth wall in his show? Wouldn't he I'm like 90% sure he would say something and then like look at the camera like, "Oh God."
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if he was intentionally doing it or not, but he did. He also has a big fucking droopy face. So anything that he says or does is just automatically funny. You know, like some people have like a face for comedy. Like he doesn't even have to say anything funny. He just looks like a fucking clown.
Joe, you're 100% right. I'm laughing so hard. Oh my god. Because really, when he does look straight at the camera, he's not making a face. He's not making like a Paul face at the camera. Like, would you believe that?
No,
he's literally just
like,
looking.
His cheeks are just drooping. I can't wait to do this.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I'm going to download all the New Heart episodes. All right. Well, that's it for this week, guys. Thanks, Joe, for doing this. I'm excited to be back. Everyone has said such nice things to us. It's really great.
Seriously, I mean, the response has been great, and like people reaching out, it's been awesome.
Yeah,
so thank you.
It really has. And if you have left a review recently, I saw a bunch of positive ones. If you send me an email, Sean@IHateHorror.com, let me know your review, and I will send you some stickers in the mail. And if you have done that since we ended the show, because I know there was a bunch of people that did that then too, also send me an email and I'll get you out some stickers. I don't know how many we have left of the old batch, but I'll order up some new ones, and I'll get those out to you guys this week. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to be posting to the social media more. If you think we should have a Facebook page, I can reinstate it. I just don't really want to do anything with it. But if you prefer it or you think it would benefit us, let me know. And I can put that back up. But I think Twitter and Instagram, that's going to be it. Twitter, it's at I Hate Horror Show. Instagram at I Hate Horror. I think I lost the Snapchat name, I Hate Horror. I'm trying to get it from Snapchat. So anyway, that's it. And for Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.
Movies all fucking day.
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch. Fucking zombie getting sliced and diced.